up against Bren Esports that wants to save or salvage the Claude for them to be able to get the game. But will they fall onto the Omega timers that we have been mentioning from a while ago, or will it be Bren Esports taking over in game number 1? Ladies and gentlemen, let's get the show on the road, shall we?
Okay, so if you look, I know we talked about it a little bit here in the draft, right? If you look at the lineup for Bren specifically, it's so bursty and pickoff based. And yes, you have, I mean, you have tools for late in the game here, but I feel like they need to set the pace early to mid-game. Otherwise, they're going to struggle against the lineup for Smart Omega late game.
Yeah, and I feel like Omega, the thing about their lineup is that they have a lot of controls, so that whenever a fight breaks out, Bren Esports have to worry about their positioning. So I kind of think that Bren Esports, that's where they need to address the issue. They need to be able to find these pickoffs without having to worry about the movements coming out from Omega.
Yeah, which is why they're confident with taking this one right now. But so far, they might not just go for it just yet. They just want to take care of the Little Wanderer. But Midnight, speaking of this emblem here by Renzo, I don't usually see this as an emblem being picked most of the time. But this is Renzo, one of the most underrated players in the game, if I should say, man. And he knows how to handle the Masha as much as you do.
Yeah, the thing about this emblem for the Masha is that the lower the HP gets, the higher the damage output that he dishes. And it goes in sync with the passive of Masha, because the lower HP you have, the higher attack speed and lifesteal you get from every attack. So it syncs up perfectly well with the way that Masha builds up his kit, because right now, especially in this meta, or last season's meta, Masha is not built as a DPS hero anymore.
Yeah.
He's built as a, I mean, she's built as a tank DPS. I mean, tank burst damage.
Yeah.
Because her ultimate is just insane.
Yeah.
It's absurd. If she has 3 Guardian's Helmet, she can delete any hero on the map.
Oh man, it's like 0 to 100, right? You already know what's about to happen, but as the turtle is about to spawn, you're taking a look at your screens right now, it might just be a little bit problem for Bren Esports as they want to go and take things over. But Bren, 4 heroes right over here wants to take things over.
They're getting the positioning here for sure. Bren, also Ogwin holding on to that Way of the Dragon for the right moment. We're going to see the push and pull, but the hook and land. Ogwin goes in with the Way of the Dragon. Can they find the kill here? Rough Wave's already going to be popped, but look at Renzio actually going to zone them out for now. Turtle's still going to be worked on half health. Lots of ultimates already committed here. Who's going to come out on top? Pandora gets hooked again by that Chaknu, and no kill goes down just yet. Turtle's going to be secured, though, by Kyle Teasy. This is quite interesting, right? So many ultimates popped, no deaths.
Yeah.
Mark stole the grab away from Kelra. But Bren Esports, they played that fight beautifully. Even though it looked like Smart Omega, they were the ones controlling the team fight. Bren Esports, they had all their eyes set onto the turtle. Every skill set they've bred, it's just to make sure that Omega also reacts to the way that they're moving. And Bren Esports, Kyle Teasy was like, okay, just do your thing. I'm just going to take out a turtle here, and we secure the objectives.
Yeah, and at some point, they've had a lot of durability and tankiness from their side in like the first few minutes of the game, right? But unfortunately, they didn't have enough damage to back up those crucial hooks that Chakno was actually building here. But at the same time, brought to you by Samsung Awesome Value Prediction. Who will give more assists for this game? Will it be Few or will it be Kiel VJ? Answer with those hashtags that you see on your screens right now. And of course, include the name of the player. But I guess we'll figure something out later on.
That's kind of hard for Few fans, because Few, the nature of his hero is that she bursts down here.
Yeah.
Like, there's no assist happening here.
I was gonna say,
if I get a catch with a Petrify, you're dead.
I was going to say, that's going to be more kills, hopefully, on Few here. But assist-wise, you got to say, too, Kill VJ, most likely he's always going to have the Way of the Dragon, right? So we're going to see 2 Way of the Dragons just like here. That's 1 kick, and there's the lockdown coming out from the heavy spin.
Beautiful.
First blood for Kill VJ. He's going to be getting kills, too. And there you go. First blood already drawn by Smart Omega.
That intercept from the Valentina. The kick came out from Ogren, but the Valentina was prepared. With Few?
Yeah. Going to find another kill, lockdown with the Bloody Hunt. This is what I was saying, Sona. You know, there is so many tools here for Smart Omega. And again, early game should be Bren pressing the go here.
Yeah.
But it's actually Smart Omega, and it's a lot of the times, it's the Mamba hooks, man, that are landing.
Yeah, then it's usually the one that's starting the fight, but it's somewhat different heroes trying to end it, right? So at some point, Bren Esports needs to be able to find a better position, get the initiations done, and hopefully equalize. But so far, it's still an equal matchup, and rather not, Bren Esports has taken the lead hundreds in terms of gold, but Omega not falling behind, Turtle 50%.
There we go, the push and pull once again. Turtle's gonna be half health here. There's gonna be the way of the dragon. Ryzen with the heavy spin gets a lockdown on Kyle Teasy, but it's still secured by Bren Esports.
Why, oh my, that was a good turret take, but so far, Renzio from the top side has managed to take it far away as to landing the outer turret for himself. So somewhat a trade has happened for both sides, but it is still a good side for Omega because that's permanent damage.
That's such a Renzio move. Like, you don't chase out the Esmeralda because you naturally lose out the fight, and there's no hero to burst down from Bren yet as of this moment. So Omega, Renzio was like, okay, just be cool. Take the turtle. I'm going to take the top tower. And Omega, even though they didn't have the Masha that team fight, Ryzen played it perfectly. Like, the moment that Ogwin kicked him, he immediately used the spin and took out Kyle Teasy away from the turtle range. Unfortunately, the turtle followed him, so Kyle Teasy was near the retribution range and he was able to get the turtle. But again, Omega, they're going to be happy with that trade. But the problem is, Bren Esports, whoa, the kick!
Goes in with the way of the dragon. The blazing duet's going to be committed to Ryzen. Less than half health here. Again, this is the story so far of these skirmishes. Back and forth, and a lot of that too. This is typically what we see with the Valentina on the other side of a Cho pick where there's two Way of the Dragons. And it's just either you kick them towards your team or you kick them away. And that's the push and pull we see in both teams. I do want to commend Bren though, because even though they were down 2 early kills, they've done a good job at equalizing everything with those 2 turtle takes.
Super Marco has been really phenomenal on this Claude. Again, the farming pattern that he has been doing allows Bren Esports to keep afloat. And Omega, they need to do something. But even though, as I've said that, Omega has taken control all over the objectives, both on the top lane and bottom lane. Even though Bren Esports answered with the Esmeralda push on the top lane, Omega still has been doing a phenomenal work in trading the objectives. Even if Bren Esports take turtle, Omega takes towers.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of trades going on for both of the teams, but I just want to say, you know, Ogwen is having a slight dilemma right over here. You know, he turns to get, or he lands to get the pickoffs in with a Way of the Dragon, but at this point, who would you want to go for? Chaknu's tanky, Renzio's tanky, Geller's right over here, and Chaknu's taking the brunt of the damage.
Yeah, they're actually going to force the flicker from Chaknu here. So Turtle still going to be worked on. Ryzen going to go ahead and try to get the positioning here. Kyle Teasy waiting patiently. It's going to be less than half health. Iron Hook's going to land. The heavy spin comes out too. And Kyle Teasy cleaning on these turtles with 3 taken. No one going down just yet. Ryzen has to back off here. Conceal play going to come out. Renzio's going to be in trouble and gets taken down by the entire team of Bren Esports.
What is happening right over here, man? Kyle Teasy actually managing to create a lot of plays for themselves, and in the same way, get more kills and objectives. You know, Bren Esports, they may lose some turrets from the top to the bottom side, but the most important part here is they got what they wanted.
This is a weird, man. This is a little weird because you wouldn't expect Kyle Teasy to have all 3 turtles.
Kyle!
Oh, he's actually going for Ryzen too. But he backs off a little bit. Luckily, a Kill VJ was there, but still. I mean, talk about Kyle Teasy grabbing these 3 turtles away from Ryzen running with that jungle emblem.
I mean, I just want to say, Ogren has been phenomenal on this Cho play from Bren, because I feel like he has a different answer. Like, you don't necessarily have to go on a target against Omega, you just scared him away. And you saw what he did against Gal VJ and Chakno. He looked like he was going for the kick onto the Franco, but he was like zoning. He was just zoning away Omega. It was not even committing. And the thing is, Gal VJ, he doesn't have anything against the Cho. Because guess what? Cho is a very tanky hero, especially with the shields coming out from the shooting pole. And he is mobile enough to escape the clutches of Omega. And I feel like that's where Bren Esports has been really, you know, has been winning a lot of these skirmishes. It's because of the movements coming out from the Cho. This is really weird from Omega, because at this moment, it feels like they have no answer against the aggression of Ogwen.
And that's the thing, right? I think we've only seen once of the Bloody Hunt, but so far they want to go for the initiation once again.
Ogwin once again, but he's going to get trapped. Has to flicker out this time. And there you go. Another big resource taken out, like you guys were just talking about. Ogwin, right? He is starting a lot of these things. And even if he necessarily doesn't get a pick, he gets something crucial from Smart Omega. Now, Lord up.
Yeah, and at the same time, they just want to get the attention of Smart Omega. And Super Marco's just getting a lot of the gold. Conceal play, though, might come in for the Barangay.
Who's going to grab the Lord? They do back off here. Pandora going in. Here comes Few, gets the knock up, and the burst is there. Lord going to be taken here, too, by Bren. But look at the backside here. Renzio trying to grab a kill, but it's Super Marco that takes out Chaknu. So that's 3 that fall for Smart Omega, and the Lord goes to Bren.
That was nasty coming out from Few. 2 petrified units. And Omega, they have no answer. Again, the aggression coming out from Owen. Just make sure that Omega reacts to whatever moves that they're doing. And Bren Esports, Kyle Teasy was just casually taking the Lord.
If you think about what happened a minute prior to the Lord on the shoulders of Ogwin, where they got the heavy spin out, and that wasn't available for Smart Omega, that played out huge for that big objective.
That was the key point, because Akai didn't have the toolkit for the team fight of Smart Omega. And Bren Esports, they have a lot of firepower here in the form of Super Marco. So even if Bren Esports, they lack the positioning, Omega doesn't have skills. Why are we scared? We just fight.
Yeah, and at some point, it was also good commendation from the Falling Star because they baited the play. Coming in from up close and personal, they've managed to get the positioning from Bren Esports. Unfortunately for them, they didn't have enough skills to back up the positioning that they've had. So it went automatically to Bren with Pandora even getting the Lord up to that fight. So at some point, they were able to take 5 total turrets from the outside. No inhibitors just yet, but the lead is already 6,000 for the side of the Hive, and they've managed to control the tempo of this fight.
Honestly, I don't see any Omega timers happening here in this game, because guess what? Bren has the Claude. And they have the superior late game here. Even though Smart Omega, they have a lot of ways to win team fights, this Claude is becoming a huge problem. The only way that Omega wins fight is if Chakno gets a Bloody Hunt up against Super Marco. But even that, there's a lot of toolkit from Bren as well. Few can just petrify the Franco. He can make him fly, he can make him swim. And Ogwin, he has been keeping tabs on Chakno. So Omega, they can't make any moves against the Claude.
Yeah, again, what you guys were saying about Ogwin just more than pulling his weight basically on this Cho is an understatement, because you know, he's not really necessarily like a super tanky hero. Even though he's got a couple tank items here, he's just doing the work with the Way of the Dragon threat plus the flicker that he's using, right? And even Pandora coming in at the right time. Again, the gold lead just kind of snuck up, I feel like, over Smart Omega. Also, even with the double Avarice, it's still okay, right? Because, there was a kick here. Chaknu gonna flicker out. And the rough wave is going to be popped here. So this could be a moment as he lands the hook on the right target. Now it's going to be Ogwin that goes downhill. Kill going over to Kelra. That's going to be huge for them. Ryzen might have bit off a little more too, but here comes the pin down with a heavy spin. But Super Marco, the blazing duet's going to find the target before he takes too much damage himself. Renzio going under the turret. Can't get him just yet. Finally with kill BJ. The king coming in to clean up. 3 fall for Bren. And now it's Pandora left in the mid lane. He cancels the recall. There we go. Falling Star Moon going to be committed, but he can't go 1 versus 3 as much as he'd like to.
This is the magic of Omega, guys. There's no such thing as timers with Omega. Of course, there's the Omega timer, but the Omega timer is basically whatever happens in a game, there's still a way for us to win. And I feel like that came out from the mistake of the Paquito. Kyle TZ was so greedy, he wanted to fight off Ryzen at that moment. But Ryzen, he still had heavy spin. And the difference is, for the last team fights that Bren has been winning, it was always Ogwin that is forcing out the ultimates from Omega. But at that moment, Bren Esports, they were not in fighting condition, and they still fought against Omega.
Yeah, and they just mirrored the move that Bren did to them just a while ago. But hold on, Few trying to figure something out, and Ryzen using the heavy spin.
Oh, goodbye, Few. He does get a little bit of that heal back, but it's not enough as he goes down here. Kelra taking quite a bit of damage on the backside versus Kyle Teasy. And Kyle Teasy does take out Kelra. And now Ryzen with a sliver of health. Pandora might be looking to chase, but he just backs off to take the call for the Lord here. They're going to go ahead and start it up. Kyle TZ grabbing the buff. Smart Omega trying to get the information that they need here. Kill VJ does have the Way of the Dragon available to him as well. Here comes the falling Star Moon. Kyle TZ now there with the Lord. Renzio trying to get that vision and keep them at bay here, but it's not going to be enough. Kyle TZ chasing him down. The Lord, about a fourth of the health here. Who's going to grab this one? Ryzen now going to get in trouble. Landing on the target as they find Super Marco. Lord is still up here, and it could be
Kyle?
Smart Omega that's going to take this. The heavy spin comes out. Pandora looking to help out, and it's secured by the Barangay as they get the Lord. And now Bren Esports, another kill going over. Kill VJ now in trouble, but he grabs a kill. Here comes Jack New. Renzio's quite low too, and now Kelra has joined the party. Ogwin and Pandora trying to run out here. Can they escape this? Flickers out.
Oh!
Jack Mamba finds him with the hook and gets the kill.
Oh my goodness, it started with a very wonderful hook onto Super Marco. Bren Esports did not expect that, and now Omega, they have closed the gold gap from 6.7k down to 600. I cannot believe I'm seeing this, gentlemen. Bren Esports, they had full control of the early to mid game, and guess what? They're supposed to take control of the late game as well. But these mechanics, these catches from Omega is what's making the game of Bren Esports break at the moment.
This is the wonder of having the Franco, right? You never know what's gonna happen next.
It's a walking win condition.
Yeah.
It's just the first thought, you kind of lack 6,000 in terms of gold, and then all of a sudden, you get the Claude, you get Super Marco, you get the shutdown gold that you want, but the concealed play is gonna happen here, and they might just be able to defend this turret unless Omega has to say something else about it. But you have to take note of Shaknu's positioning all the time. They've managed to take control of the bottom side, managing to succeed in getting that inhibitor turret. So far, Omega now with a turnaround in terms of economy, taking at least 700, and Bren back at the defense.
This is really hard for Bren Esports to defend. I mean, you are a Cho against a Franco, and Franco naturally deals huge pressure when they're pushing the base. And Smart Omega, they now have full lock items. Even though Super Marco has the Wind of Nature, this threat of the Masha that we've talked about, that we've discussed earlier on, is becoming a huge nuisance to Bren Esports. They need to be mindful about the positioning, because Renzo can just jump in at any time. Any single hero that he picks, either it be the Claude of Super Marco or the Pakit of Kyle TZ, these two heroes on the side of Bren Esports, whenever Omega locks their eyes on these two heroes, they need to respond. They need to react. Either save them or get the hell out of there.
Man, you just can't figure out what Omega's gonna do next at this point, because, you know, they've had a lot of positionings. There were some pickoffs that Bren was doing. Speaking of which, Kelra was picked by Kyle TZ back then before the Lord fight even started. So they've been doing strides, or they've been doing work as to how they would be able to approach the Lord takes, the major objective pushes that they want to go for. But Omega takes control of the macro and the micro gameplay that we have been seeing. And so far, I have to say, man, KLVJ has been superb in this matchup, and so is Ryzen, because Ryzen has taken control of the major objective takes and the initiator of the pickoffs. Conceal play is going to happen right there, but no one will be a part of the side as the Lord now. This is going to be a Luminous Lord. Once again, a major pressure for both of the teams, whoever will be getting this one. But it seems like Omega takes first position for heroes on the Lord pit.
Yeah, I think we're going to see just everyone come down here, but...
What?
Okay.
What has happened there?
Flicker used by Ogwin. He thought he could get Ryzen away from this Lord pit, or it may have just been mispressed from the Cho, but that is really big from Bren Esports. There's no Flicker play that can come out from the Cho.
Yeah, which is who you're relying on mostly here. But still, I mean, the one thing Smart Omega has to respect is the burst damage still is in Bren Esports' favor here for now, right? The initial burst, I'm talking about with few, Super Marco even too. Also a big BOD picking up by Kyle TZ
such
here.
a greedy item by the Pakito. But in terms of DPS, that might just be the answer against Omega, because you don't want to be fighting a long drawn out fight against Smart Omega. Because Bren Esports, even though you have the blazing to it and you can keep up with the mobility, as much as possible, you want to take out the heroes of Smart Omega as quick as possible because they deal also big DPS.
No more conceal though.
Yeah, they might be going. I mean, this is the strength of having a Masha, right? You can take a lot of punishment because you have multiple health bars, and I believe he's already got the Guardian helmet, right? So he's just going to heal that
And
back
the Guardian
up.
helmets.
Yeah, and Guardian helmets. So at this point, this is typically what we're used to seeing, guys, right? Objective base. This is the Lord Dance. It's only about 20 minutes in, but we're going to see this back and forth until one team either gets a hook, which almost just happened there.
Man.
But still, the back and forth, the dance.
I mean, if I was Chakna, I would have been scared if I was able to hook the Kadita, because I should have been petrified right there and then.
But so far, it's still a good sign for them. We're already slowing down, but Renzo taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, they might actually go here. He just bursted down. Renzio, those health bars aren't going to help you that time. And now this is the prime pickings for Bren Esports as they push Ryzen back. They're trying to get the Lord in position for their favor. They know they've got the numbers advantage. We're going to see Smart Omega looking for an angle here as well, but it's going to be completely blocked off by Bren Esports. This should be a free Lord for Bren.
This Esmeralda has been nuisance to Omega. It's a very big, a very big block.
It's a problem, bro.
Yeah, it's a problem. They don't have any damage against Pandora, and you saw that earlier when he was dancing around Ryzen.
Yeah.
They constantly punch each other back and forth, but Pandora was like, "You don't deal damage, bro," and the Akai was like, "Oh yeah, I don't deal any damage to the Esmeralda."
He's just built different, if I should say, man.
built different.
Totally just dominating the force, even fighting 4v1, 3v1, no problem at all. But
Yeah.
you're taking a look at Super Marco right now, already in full build about buying a brute force breastplate for the extra sustain in terms of the physical damage that he might take for the rest of the members in. So Bren taking the economy once again. You're taking a look at almost 5k in terms of gold lead, but already the damage from Kelra is ginormous. But so far, they need to be able to defend this Lord, and it is looking likely, but Bren Esports taking over the other side of the map.
Oh, good.
Already happy with the tier 2 turret in the mid lane here. Smart Omega does defend against that Lord, so right now, Bren Esports still happy. I mean, the seesaw that we're seeing here with the gold lead is quite intense, although at this point, it doesn't necessarily matter as much, right? We've already taken a look at the items. Everybody pretty much has what they need. We see potions being picked up here. There's going to be some minor swaps back and forth depending on the situation. But Ogwin going in with the way of the dragon. Meanwhile, kill VJ with a return kick.
Oh,
trying to grab the
alive.
kill. Immortality going to be popped here. Chaknu is still alive too. Renzio going deep into territory for Super
Marco used the
Marco.
win chat.
But backs off here. Again, very similar to what we saw early on in the game. The back and forth between the two teams.
Too heavy of a resources committed by Bren Esports just to take out Chaknu, but he didn't even die. But the problem with Smart Omega right now is that they need to defend their base, and they still have no ways of dealing with this Pandora Esmeralda, who has just been sitting in the front lines of Smart Omega. It's just a walking surveillance from Bren Esports, and this allows huge map control for Bren. Look at this, look at the map. All lanes, all the jungles are being farmed by Bren Esports, and Omega is allowed, what, this area of the map?
Oh
this
my.
mid lane?
Oh, that's going to be a big, crucial hook here. Can Few get away from this one? Ryzen pops the heavy spin, locks
Rough
him
waves.
down, pushes him back
Oh,
to
no,
the
Ryzen
team.
left alone.
Few still able to survive, though, with the rough waves. Here comes the blazing duet from Super Marco.
enough.
Going to get crashed down on by Renzio, but no one goes down again between the two teams.
What just happened there, man? I thought there was supposed to be a pickoff happening there, but it was the mechanics of these guys, Kadita swimming away from the fight. And in the same way, it was almost a Falling Star Moon stunning the rest of the members in, but unfortunately, there was just not enough damage. We're also managing to see Kyle TZ on the top side, just trying to get the lane equilibrium to their side, but again, no casualties for both teams.
This is a big problem for Omega right now. You have to choose between defending on the top lane and going for the Lord contest on the bottom lane. This Esmeralda is just going to follow Omega wherever they want to go, but at this moment, they have a window to capitalize against Bren Esports. The Esmeralda is busy clearing the top wave, but that is already closed down as Esmeralda is already in the mid lane. I would say that Bren Esports, they should have the advantage in this Lord fight, because Omega, even though, again, we've said that there's a lot of kits on their side, there's a lot of CCs that can come out from both the Akai and the Franco, this movement from Ogwin is still a big problem. Like the zoning mechanic that Bren has been utilizing for the past few skirmishes, it has seen a lot of heroes from Omega burn their ultimates just to deal with the choke.
And at some point, the lane equilibrium goes to the side of Bren, given that the Valentina and Franco needs to go and defend the top side, but they might just go for the initiation here. Pandora taking close, dancing with the rest of the members in. There comes the Jit Kundo, but nothing's happening just yet.
Ogwin holding on to that Way of the Dragon the best he can, but he does get hooked, and look, the initiation comes out. There's the Way of the Dragon finally being popped on Renzio, but still has plenty of health bars. Going to take the damage here from Super Marco. Still, Chaknu waiting patiently with Kelra, and still, it's a back and forth between the two teams. Lord's going to reset here, and we're going to see both teams just go clear the waves.
There's a lot of ultimates being popped here by Bren Esports just for them to take control of the positioning, but there comes the essential pick, so now I think it's go time for Bren.
Pandora goes in with a falling star moon. Ogwin can't get that one though. Pandora still being that front line for Bren Esports. Lord gonna reset once again. Super Marco too low. Ogwin gonna recall here. The reset again, 25 minutes into the game.
Bro, they're dancing. They're just pulling the ropes, man. They're just playing tug of war at this point. You don't know what's going to happen next, but Kelra, as you mentioned.
Yeah, Bren Esports almost won that game with the flicker from Ogwin. But Kelra, with the quick reactions, he saw the concealed play coming from miles away, and he was able to get out of harm's way. With Bren Esports, they still have control over this Lord pit, and Omega, it's hard for them to engage. Now, Ogwin has a second life. The immortality is now reset. But top lane,
look at Few
on the back line.
Few's gonna find the target. The rough wave is gonna be popped here. Chaknu immortality gonna be popped. There you go. It's a return as Ogwin goes down too. Few's still gonna be a focus here. Mega kill for the king. And another lethal hook from the Mamba comes out. And two fall for Bren Esports. And Smart Omega now in position for the Lord. But they still have to worry about Pandora and Super Marco. The hunt comes out. Immortality gonna be popped. And that's another kill, the shutdown for Kelra.
Oh my goodness, Omega, even in the face of a play from Q, Kelra was able to keep his distance, and he was not caught off guard by all of the skills thrown by Bren Esports. At the end of the duration where Bren Esports was trying to use their skills to find a target, Kelra was sitting at full HP. And this is what allowed Omega to have a fantastic fight. And I just want to say that this Scarlet Phantom pickup by Clint is just so nasty. He deals so much damage in the team fight, and the amount of attack speed that this item brings allows him to fight head-on against Bren Esports.
Omega, man, they might just end it here.
I think they're looking to end the game right here. Last the hunt comes down, and that's going to be it. Smart Omega comes in and takes game number